My 28 husband, 29, wants an open marriage. I said no. Now I am heartbroken. I am writing this right now part as a vent, and part asking for guidance, because I am as clueless as can be. I met my now husband when we were 19. A year and a half ago, we got married. We had what I always thought was a great relationship. But right now, I am discovering it was beyond flawed. It all began couple of months into our marriage, when he told me that he wants us to open our relationship. For you to realize the amount of shock and pain that befell me at that moment, I will tell you a bit about my background. I come from a broken household. Daughter of an absent father who married a narcissistic and physically abusive mother, then decided he had enough with her, and her children, and left early on. The amount of dysfunction I lived through growing up, left me for all of my childhood, and the better part of my teenage years, incapable of forming any healthy relationship of any kind. Then he came along. And loved me so much, and nurtured me with care, I looked at him as more than just a boyfriend. He was an entire family to me, a dearest friend whom I could lay my heart open to, a refuge from all the neglect and pain. But what I saw for years as a loving, nurturing relationship, was in reality a not-so-healthy parent-child dynamic that he bore the brunt of for years, and now wants out of the monogamous marriage. He tells me he thought of leaving many times in the past, that he always wanted to be a free bird untied by marriage or any construct of the like, wished to try many relationships. We are the first people in each other's lives, and know what it is like to be with people other than me. He tells he opted for staying because I was too vulnerable in the past. Having him leave or try his luck with other women would have destroyed me, and now that he thinks I am stable enough, and given how strangled he feels stuck in our monogamous relationship, he wants things to change. I thought about long and hard, but no part of me can take even the thought of him being intimate with another. I have had it hard, real hard, and want a man all for me. Sharing him with another won't do, being content with the leftovers and bits and pieces won't do. I know it works both ways. I know I get to have my share of playing around. But I am a woman who gives herself completely to whom she loves, and just can't be with multiple people at the same time. It won't work. I know it in my bones. So I decided it's better we go separate ways. This will soon take place, and I don't know what to do, or what to feel, what to think, how to go about it, how to act. I don't know the first thing about breakup of a relationship that has gone that long, and burrowed its roots so deep into my soul. He has been a part of me for so many years, I lost sense of where I ended and where he began. The very thought of him not there makes me feel like a person who is soon to have a limb amputated. Judging from my words, you might think I have no life outside of him. But nothing can be further from truth. I work in a creative industry, a job that I am passionate about. And since I knew from an early age that art can't be relied on to pay the bills, I earned a degree in STEM and work another 9-5 more stable job. Both places I work in are quite reputable. I speak multiple languages. English is not even my mother tongue. And people tell me I am extremely attractive and beautiful. I get hit on all the time even as a married woman. I have good friends that I can hang out with from time to time. None though that I can tell all of this to. But yeah, all that doesn't matter when at the end of the day, I have the self-esteem of an old, torn and tread upon shoelace, and feel that I don't even know how to exist without him. So kind strangers of the internet, I am sorry for the long rant. If you made it this far, and have anything to tell me about my situation, any help, advice, or even insight, I would really appreciate it. TLR. Husband wants to open marriage. I said it's better we go separate ways. But now I am heartbroken and don't know what to do. You've gone from an unsettled, difficult childhood, and into the arms of a man who became your friend, lover, and maybe even life raft. Perhaps, as painful as it seems, you now have an opportunity to step into your own individual power. You sound like a very accomplished woman. Commitment is, for most, a choice, and as hard as it is when we love another, we cannot cage them, metaphorically of course. You will be okay, maybe even amazing. I think you made the right choice. Knowing that he wants to be with others is probably enough to make staying intolerable, even if he compromised and stayed monogamous. Not sure how you walk back from, but I really want to fuck other people. Dang. I am sorry. That is rough. How did he react when you told him you would rather separate than share him? Did he try to persuade you to change your mind? Did he backtrack his stance? Pretty sure you're all going to tell me this is above Reddit's pay grade. I, 38 female, have been married to my husband, 40 male, for a little over a year. I waited for him. I had 3 guys propose to me before him and I never said yes. I swore I would only get married one time. He came into my life and I fell so hard. He was everything I wanted and he was so sweet and loving. He has a son, 9 male, and my husband's ex left when his son was 1 year old and refused to see her child. She went and filed to terminate her parental rights and then 2 days later filed for full custody. They battled in court and eventually settled in a shared parenting plan with my husband being the residential parent. She shows up when she feels like it. She alternates between obsessive, "mommy dearest," and dropping off the planet with no contact for months. Needless to say, my stepson has issues. When I meet my husband we moved fast. I was so in love. I was stupid. We got married. I became full-time mom to a boy who hates women and a husband who doesn't seem to be very fond of them either. I feel duped. I swear he married me to have a nanny maid. I used to be fun and happy. I'm smart. I would have been a great wife to the right man. My stepson is cruel. If you've ever seen the movie, We Need to Talk About Kevin, I have never related to a movie more. The only difference, my SS is much more obvious in his hatred and my husband is somehow more oblivious. This child hits me, kicks me and verbally abuses me on a daily basis. My husband makes excuses. When I am in public with him, strangers feel the need to step in and tell him to stop treating me this way. But when he does it in front of my husband, he excuses it and generally turns the blame on me. When his behavior is out of control at school, they call me. I'm the one who got him in counseling. I'm the one who got him into a good psychiatrist. I'm the one that does his homework with him, even when he throws things at me and hits me and it takes hours to do something that should have taken 15 minutes. But in my husband's eyes, I'm not doing enough. Recently, my SS punched me at a family event. When I asked my husband to correct him, his response was, "He's doing it to you. Why should it be on me to fix it? I want to leave but I feel stuck. I know that if I go, my SS loses any chance of getting the help he needs. I'm seriously afraid he's going to grow up to be a serial killer. He almost killed our dog and I swear if I leave and see him on the news someday I'll feel responsible." Most of my family refuses to let my SS come around anymore because he hurt their pets or they've seen what I see. They say they are scared for me but they quit talking to me and I don't have anyone left. I love my husband. I don't think he is a bad person. I think he is overwhelmed by how out of control his child is and the only way he can deal is to deny the problem and shift blame. When we occasionally get time alone together we never fight. But, I'm tired. I'm hurt. I don't laugh anymore. I don't enjoy anything anymore. I feel alone. I feel my husband only married me so he wouldn't have to deal with his son's behavior. I don't know what to do. I am home alone for the first time in months. I am drunk and decided to try Reddit. Does anyone have any advice for me? Help, please. Edit just to reassure everyone. My SS is not allowed to be alone with the dog. Since the incident the dog goes where I go with no exceptions. When I leave the dog will go with me and that is one of the things that has kept me here a few times because I have nowhere that I can stay where I can take the dog. Another thing, I cannot give full details here for many reasons. 1. I would need an entire book to explain the ins and outs and ups and downs of everything that has happened. 2. I really don't want anyone involved to be able to see this and know I posted it because it would cause more problems. I considered deleting the post when I woke up but after reading the replies I want to keep it to remind me that I am not crazy for feeling the way I do. I appreciate all of you that responded with so much kindness. There have been many moments with my husband and SS that gave me hope and made me think that things might get better and those moments have kept me hanging on. This last month or two things have escalated and I have some hard decisions to make. That's pretty rough. I think you know what you need to do, but you seem to want permission to do it. So here you go. I grant you permission to walk away from this mess and get your life back. Your husband is a shit father and husband and is making no attempt to fix the situation. Your stepson has problems you cannot fix and aren't responsible to fix. Do yourself a favor and don't waste another minute turning yourself inside out and upside down for these two. Leave. Take the dog. This is above your pay grade. I'm scared for you. Please leave. My immediate thought was that this sounds like a situation where the kid ends up murdering the stepmom. His child has problems. His child needs serious help, and he is making it worse just letting him be a complete demon with no consequences. Please leave like immediately. You've already paid your debt. There's nothing else you can do to help him. I told my boyfriend he doesn't multitask people very well. He got quiet. I know this sounds awful but I really didn't think it was offensive. As the title says, my boyfriend has an extremely hard time with giving people equal attention. If he's not in the same space as you, you can maybe expect to hear from him every couple of months to twice a year. We have been best friends since we were little, and when he moved away for college I was still finishing my junior year. He called me on very rare occasions, and most of the time it was while he was in the room with other people. I'd end up screaming because I couldn't hear him, or I'd just sit silently on the phone because he was participating in their banter rather than our phone call. When he came back home, the same thing happened to his college best friend. He just doesn't keep contact. He says he will, but he never does. After I started dating him, I also noticed he'd do the same thing when he'd leave for a trip. He likes to travel. He will call and not give me much attention, or he will most likely not call me for 2 days, feel bad, and carve out a bit of time. We have discussed and came to the conclusion that he just does this. He said he didn't know why, but it's easy for him to forget even extremely close people if they aren't there. I have come to accept this part of him because I still love him. And it was much less frustrating when I figured out it wasn't personal. He's away right now, and he called me apologizing that he was sorry he didn't call me yesterday. I told him that was okay and I wasn't expecting him to call anyway. He asked why, and I jokingly said, "You don't multitask people well." He went quiet, and then he began to say something, but he said never mind. When I asked him to explain, he said the conversation was uncomfortable and he wasn't mad, he just didn't want to talk about it anymore. We are normally okay with things like this. Especially if he already knows he does it. If you had suddenly told him I didn't like something, of course it would catch him off guard. But we'd talked about it several times and he's acknowledged it's something he does, and I have since calmed down a lot knowing he's not trying to be like this. I thought it was okay to joke about a little. I don't know how to go about apologizing because he said he didn't want to talk about it anymore, but I feel bad. I mean, you stated a fact. I don't see a reason to apologize. I am curious why he has to be the one to reach out to you? And you didn't reach out to him yesterday? Communication is both people's responsibility. My husband doesn't multitask well either. Some people can, some can't. Maybe when he is gone, you can set up a system of he calls at a certain time. He can set up an alert on his phone, instead of just hoping to remember. My ex wants to come back after he ended our relationship. Update. His therapist talked to me, with his permission, and told me he was going through a hard time and depression. The reason he left was not someone else. The reason was his fucked up mental situation. F22 was with him, M21, for almost 2 years. We had a beautiful relationship and everything was cool. He suddenly broke up with me and told me he is tired of this relationship. I begged him not to, I should have not, but he didn't care. Now he is back, crying and begging me for another chance. He wasn't a bad boy. But what he did to me was really cruel. He says he will change everything. IDK what to do. I'm the words of Steve Harvey, never let a man tell you twice that he doesn't want you. He left you once, he can do it again. As simple as that, but sorry to break it to you. He suddenly broke up with me and told me he is tired of this relationship. I begged him not to, I should have not, but he didn't care. More likely he was hooking up with another woman. He got emotionally distant from this relationship. That didn't work out, so he's crawling back to you. Kick him to the curb. He doesn't deserve to get back with you. He wanted to end things. Oblige him. Especially if he was cruel at the end. There is no reason in the world to let him back. That really said something about his character. You've moved on in life, he can as well. He broke up with you to fuck another woman. Didn't work out, so he has cone back. Tell him to go fuck himself. What's to stop him from pulling the same shit again?